Hey, welcome everybody. Today we're making Pavlova. Have you heard of it? It is a delicious cake, perfect for the summertime when we have all these fresh berries in season. Anyway, what it is the cake layer is egg whites that are baked and they come out nice and crunchy on the outside and like marshmallow on the inside. It is decadent, absolutely. So we top it with some whipping cream and some fresh berries, kiwi, whatever you like, and I'll tell you, you're gonna love it. I mean, it is fantastic. So I'm Rockin' Robin and I'm gonna show you how to do it right after this. Anybody know where this dessert originated from? Pavlova? Sounds a little Russian, doesn't it? Well, back in the 1920s, there was a Russian ballerina named Anna Pavlova, and she was on tour in Australia and New Zealand, and they decided to name it in her honor. So there you go. All right, so let's go over the ingredients and we can get started. Here in my mixing bowl, I already have some room temperature egg whites. Now you want to take your eggs out of the refrigerator, but you want to separate them immediately. It is much easier to separate a nice cold egg from its yolk when they're cold. They're less likely to break. So go ahead and do that right away and then just let the egg whites sit out and come to room temperature. We'll also need some cornstarch, some sugar, a pinch of salt, a little vanilla extract, white wine vinegar, and for our toppings, I've got a lot of delicious fresh fruit here, and I also have some organic heavy whipping cream, some fresh organic strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and we'll finish it off with a little bit of kiwi. I'm preheating my oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and I want to show you my prep on the baking sheets here. I have parchment paper, and I'm going to draw out a little guideline for me so when I spread out my meringue, I know how big to make it. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but some people like to have that. So I've got a lid here that's about 9 inches in diameter, and I'm just going to trace around it. It's just a guideline, guys, just like that. And then I'll just flip it over. So when I'm ready to spread it out, I know exactly how big I want to make it. We're going to start our egg whites on low. Once they start to get a little bit frothy, we'll start adding our sugar. I like to scrape it down ever so often, and I'm just going to keep adding this until it's all incorporated. Drop in that pinch of salt. We're going to let this go for 5 or 6 minutes, however long it takes for these peaks to get stiff. We're going to gradually increase the speed. Okay guys, this is what we want, nice and thick. Perfect. Now we're going to take our white wine vinegar and I'm going to put some in a little dish here. We're going to mix this together with the cornstarch. We got my vinegar, got your vanilla. All right, so we put our cornstarch in there and you just want to stir this up, and this is going to blend it up and dissolve that cornstarch before we actually add it to our egg whites. Now we're going to pour this in. And then you just want to fold in the mixture into your egg whites. All right, so now all we have to do is divide our meringue up. Okay, so notice how my paper is kind of bouncing around there. I'm just going to put a little bit of this meringue on the tray to just kind of hold my paper in place. And then it won't be jumping all over. Just need a little touch of it. That looks pretty even. Now you want to make these pretty close to the same size, that way when we're going to stack them on top of each other, they'll match up pretty well. All right, so we're going to pop these in our oven. Remember, they're preheated at 300 degrees, and it's going to take about an hour to cook these. All right, it's been about an hour, and we're going to check our Pavlovas and see how they look. All right, so what you want to do is it's starting to get slightly golden, and you want to touch it, and as long as it doesn't stick to your finger, it's done. So what I'm going to do here is just leave these in the oven with the door open. I'm going to turn off the heat, and we're going to let that come completely cool before we put it all together. So it's going to take at least an hour or two. Now you might have trouble getting your meringue off of the parchment paper, even though it's not supposed to stick. Here's what I do as a little trick. Okay, so I lift mine over. So here's what I do. To keep this from cracking, so mine's stuck on there a little bit. So I bring it over to the edge just a little bit and I start pulling the paper down. It pulls it away, but it gives it support so it doesn't crack. And I just work my way all the way around, just easing it off. And eventually I'll work my way and I'll have the whole thing come loose without breaking. You can start to then try to pick it up a little bit and pull that paper down, and there it goes. It's free now. It's time to prep up our strawberries to go on top of our dessert. I want to mention on this recipe though that this dessert, it's the kind of dessert that when you make it and you get it all together and ready to go, it needs to be served immediately. Otherwise, the meringue is going to soften up if it sits around too long. It also can't go in the refrigerator because it just will take all the moisture out of it. It will get really soft and it won't be very desirable. All right, we're ready to whip up our cream because I'm ready to serve this thing up. Pour all my cream in there. Now with your whipping cream, you want to make it a lot less sweet than you normally might make it, okay? Because the meringue is quite sweet and you want a little contrast there. You don't want this to be sweet as well. So I'm gonna put a little bit of vanilla extract in here, along with probably 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar. Just enough to give that hint of sweetness. Okay, it's the moment we've been waiting for, right? All right, remember I loosened these already so they come right off. I'm gonna set this down onto my pie plate. Put a nice amount of lightly sweetened whipping cream right on top of that. After you watch this video, this is gonna be one of your favorite desserts that you make. I just know it. I can see why they named it after Anna. Very elegant dessert. I think the strawberries are really what needs to be on this. So we're gonna just pour these right over the top. All right, so I got my strawberries on there. We're gonna throw a little contrast and put in a few of the blueberries. Kind of looks very patriotic at the moment. We got our kiwi slices. You're having a party, you could cook this up ahead of time. The meringues, have them ready to go, whip up your cream and just put it together and serve it up real quick. Fantastic. Look at that. Is that just the most gorgeous thing ever? All right, guys, I'm ready to cut into this. Hopefully it'll stay together. We'll see. It just looks so beautiful. I almost hate to cut into it. The moment I've been waiting for. This is gonna be so yummy. Gotta make sure I get a strawberry in there because I love it with the strawberries. All right, that is almost indescribable. Very light, tastes like marshmallows. It's got that little bit of crusty part on the exterior of the meringue. That is heavenly. Guys, you gotta try this. Wow, I absolutely love this. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click that button, we'll put it up there, and you won't miss any new videos that come out. And share the recipe for me. I appreciate it when you do that. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, all of those. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time with another delicious recipe.